Let's return to This Week in America. Here's your host, Rick Bratton.
Welcome back, everybody, coast to coast. This Week in America. The Lost Child of World War II, My Life During the Great War, a memoir by Leonida Clarete-Watson, has been called a moving and insightful story of the human condition, overcoming arduous struggles, an amazing story of survival. Her story growing up during war with the Japanese in the Philippine Islands and life after the military, American military, and Philippine soldiers forced them to leave. The story of the relationship between Leonida and her father, her rock, her hero, how he shaped her into the person she is today. Leonida Clarete-Watson, author of The Lost Child of World War II, My Life During the Great War, is our guest on This Week in America. Leonida, thank you so much for being with us. Pleasure having you on our program.
Thank you.
Let's start with the very beginning of this. How old were you when the Japanese invaded the Philippines?
I am not quite 3 o'clock. I believe I am 3 o'clock. 3 years going on for 4 years.
Yes, such an early age, but the memories are vivid. As you write, it's almost like they happened yesterday, the vivid memories that you have. How many in your family were killed by the Japanese?
Eight brothers.
It's just amazing what you went through, and all of this in Leonida's book, The Lost Child of World War II, available at Amazon, the usual places. I'll give you that information as we go through the program. Was your father a member of the Philippine Army?
Yes, correct.
And in that role, what did he do to help American soldiers?
Well, first of all, he is going to Bataan, further fighting for American, and then he come back home, and then he give me a grape in my pillow, and when I wake up, I just reach the behind my pillow, and I have a grape down there. I was so happy when every time when he come home, I said, Daddy's home.
So you knew that Dad had been there when you had the grape. I mean, such a touching story that, again, you recall with such clarity, like it just happened. Your father, did he gather food to feed American soldiers that were hiding out in the caves? Did he?
I am.
Yes.
I am the one getting them sweet potatoes because my daddy ordered me to do that to them. And I'm only 5 years old.
That's amazing at that age, yes. Yeah, finish that thought. I'm sorry, finish that thought because it's so important what you were doing during that period.
Well, sir, what I did, my dad teach me how to crawl in the ground to get those potatoes so that those Americans do not get hungry because they don't have nothing can get the food except me. So what I did, I went to where the sweet potatoes, and then I put it all in my back. I have back there.
Yes.
And then my dad teach me how to crawl like a snake toward them. So I did that. In the meantime, sir, because they doing infantry between the American and the Japanese, and I can see the light that back and forth like this, one going that way, this way, they all infantry together. But I am in the bottom, I did not get hit, sir, in the ground.
You know, this is
So
so interesting. You were basically a lifeline for the American soldiers. As you mentioned, it was sometimes you were the only source of food. All of this is in Leonida's memoir, The Lost Child of World War II, My Life During the Great War. It's her memoir, and I'm going to spell the name for you if you're going to Google. The book is available at Amazon, all of the usual places. Links on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Leonida is Leonida, Clarete, Clarete, and Watson, Watson. Again, we'll have this up on the website. If you Google the book, it'll come up and you'll get information on it and it's available basically wherever books are sold. The Lost Child of World War II. There was an element of danger, obviously, in what you were doing. Again, you can recall the searchlights that are out there that are being run by the enemy. Did you ever get shot at?
No, sir. In fact, the Japanese want to take me with them.
They saw a good worker out there and thought they'd like to get you on their side. It's amazing the danger when you think back of it, back at it, at risking your life to help the soldiers. When the Japanese were able to capture your father and hold him accountable for rescuing and killing Japanese soldiers, what happened? How did that happen, and what were the consequences?
Well, sir, what I know is they put the American in a cave, so they saved them, and he take care of them over there, but accept the food because the food is from me, not from him. He's the one telling me everything. What shall I do?
Yes.
Sometimes when I don't even know them, when those Japanese in a cave, but again, when he went out there and gave those potatoes, I said, who are they? They stink, I told my dad that. And he said, they're our friend. They're American. We're hiding them from Japanese. That's what he told me. And then after that, later on, and the Japanese looking for my dad because some 3 Filipino, they snitched my father that my dad is hiding American in a cave. I was with him. And then the Japanese, they came, they talked to my dad. And then my dad, he told them,
Yes.
he don't know. And then after that, the Filipino said, you better tell them or they're gonna kill you. In that time, he turned around to me, he kneeled down in the ground because I'm only a kid. He told me, he said, Nida, he said, when you grow up, I want you to talk about this, what we did. You are, what do you call that? Real. I'm not scared of anything because I believe my dad.
Yes.
Whatever. Yes, I did. That's why I said in a letter also, my dad, whatever he said to me, I will do. And I am here today. If I see somebody that is not, they try to get him, here I am, get him. Because I've been taught to my dad, do not look people when they getting hurt. You help them. And then after that, I put that in my brain. Sometimes in Portland, and they steal something from my grandson, his, belonging. My grandson called me, sir. And then I drive to Portland, and I speak to the mother for the because she have girlfriend. And I told her, I said, I want to speak to you because she won't give my kids stuff because I bought everything for him. So she told me, she said, well, I give you. He said, you have to give me 3,000. I said, I'm not going to give it to
Wow.
you. That's what I told. So, and then he called some gangster, came over. He said, I have the key of that thing. I'm not going to give it to you. I said, oh, you're not? He said, no. Well, and then he take the gun and he tried to point it to my grandson. And I told him, I said, I run and grab him in right here. I said, you're not killing nobody. Because I said, I want to be sure that you are rotten in a break. Well,
Yes.
I'm still in a war.
Well, yeah, you really learned how to stand up for yourself and for other people that you believed in. That was something that was taught to you by your father at a very early age. It's still obviously still with you in your life. Talk about those final moments with your father and what he said to you, because again, those memories are quite vivid.
Well, like I told you, sir, being a young iron, even my mom sold me for medicine. And my dad said, when you grow up, right is right, wrong is wrong. When you see me now, he said, like now, he take care of the American. He doesn't want them to die, you see.
Yes.
One American name is, I still remember his name, Colonel, his name. But I just can't find him. Until now, I worry about that. We'll see if I can still, contact him, but I didn't. Because that's what my dad, there is no day pass if I didn't. I always think about my dad.
Well, it's understandable. And his final words to you were, I love you. And all of this story unfolds in Leonida's memoir, The Lost Child of World War II, My Life During the Great War. The book is available at Amazon, all of the usual places. We'll have that information on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Time has gone by so quickly. A few minutes left in the program. You mentioned, and if you were listening, you heard it correctly, that you were sold to another family for medicine. Boy, you really, resilience is a word that is your life. You come here, you a licensed cosmetologist. Talk about how successful you've been in this country and a marriage that's lasted well over 50 years. You really followed the inspiration of your father, didn't you? Life in a new country and a successful life.
No, sir. I not 50 years married, going on 60 years.
Okay, 50 plus a decade, so real close to 60 years marriage, which is just an incredible. That's about 3 or 4 normal marriages in the U.S., and you've had one. You found great happiness and success. A licensed cosmetologist, you've been very successful, haven't you, here in the United States, and now sharing this message of standing up for yourself, standing up for what's right in your book,
Yes, sir.
The Lost Child of World War II.
I'm sorry, you're talking.
Yes, finish that.
Because when I like to do that, sir, and I need to work to help my husband in that, because maybe you read it in a book. When I told my mother-in-law, said, Mom, I want to go to school. He said, honey, You, honey, he said, still barking. Honey, he said, you're, let's see. He said, honey, you don't have no education.
Yeah,
You didn't even go to first grade. They would not accept you because they only accept the people, what you call that, the highest one.
Well, yes, and to hear that, and that just made you more determined, didn't it?
Yeah, I kept telling her. Finally, he told the girl. She said, take her anywhere in the school, see if they will accept her. And I did. But the last school, sir, I told her, because I am determined to go to school. I told her, write everything there, what they said in application. And then she did. And then after that, she told me, Nida, where did you go to school? I said, tell them I am in Republic Central College. And then I said, give it to them. So she did. And the owner in the school said, you're in. I said to myself, what is that in? Neither, don't jump around, because don't jump when I tell you. You in, that means you can go to school. You see?
Yes. Oh, what great words, what great words to hear.
Huh?
What great words to hear when you found that you actually are going to be able to go to school, and you did it so successfully, and all of this and so much more. It's just difficult in a brief interview to sort of recap what Leonida went through, all of her memories from childhood, her memories up until recently, and her life, and the success and the motivation. When you read the story, it will inspire you as well. Now, the book is The Lost Child of World War II, My Life During the Great War, a memoir by our guest Leonida Clarete-Watson. I'm going to spell that again if you're going to Google. Leonida is Leonida. Clarete is Clarete. Watson, Watson. We've got all of that on our website, but if you put in Google The Lost Child of World War II, the information will come up. You'll be able to get information and order the book there as well. Leonida, this has been so much fun having you on the program, hearing your story. Again, it's so motivational for all of us to hear what you went through.
Well, sir, I went through more than that. Being sold.
Yes.
It's not easy. They beat me almost every day, because sometimes they put me in wilderness to take care of the birds, so that what they plant down there, they will not be eating. I did that too. And also, sir, this is only first book. Now, I have another one. It's the second. I have a second book. When I get here to United States, that's why I said when I went to school. And during that time, sir, I become number one.
Just amazing. And that will be in the new book. And hopefully we'll be able to talk again and pick up on what's happened in your life, because it's a remarkable story. Just in a short interview, a short conversation cannot do it justice. All you went through as a child with your father and with the war, and being sold, as you said, and I just throw that out there, but it's like being sold. You just, in a couple of sentences, described the torment that you went through, and hopefully we can continue the story. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. It has been a pleasure. Hopefully we can do this again. You're motivating a lot of people. You're telling us a little bit of history, what actually went on, and how people like you were heroes. You and your father were heroes that came out of World War II, and you continue to be because of his inspiration to this very day.
And they killed my father, sir, in front of me.
Yes, and the final, in front of you, the final words being, Nida, I love you. And it's just such a touching story, and it's easy to see why, well, his legacy, all of the good he did lives on, and all of the good that you are doing. So thank you for being with us on the program. Thank you for writing the memoir. We look forward to the second book, and thank you for being with us on the program.
And also, I wish I can meet you in a person.
Would love to do that sometime.
So nice.
Oh, well, it's nice to have you on the program, and kind of you to say that. I appreciate that. And maybe we can arrange to do it in person the next time. It's just been such a delight. Leonida Clarete-Watson. The book is The Lost Child of World War II. You'll find it at Amazon, the usual places. Information on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. We are back on today's program right after these messages.
This Week in America is online. You can visit our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Scott Pinkerton, Associate Producer of This Week in America. Jay Anderson, Segment Producer. Ben Watson, Webmaster. Otto Bechet, Director of Engineering and TV Production. This Week in America produced and is a trademark of Blue Funk Broadcasting, LLC. For information on all of our guests and to listen to this week's show, our website again at thisweekinamerica.us. And I'm Sean Bratton, Executive Producer of This Week in America.